Hi.
Hello, Twitchverse.
Hello, Twitch. How's it going?
Why did you just yell as soon as it came in?
Because everybody was being very quiet, and I decided not to be very quiet. So
I know.
Don't.
Clipping.
You know what? I clip all the time. I like to make John's audio mix a living hell.
Yeah, it's clipping like crazy.
Well, see, now we know. Would you rather me do it now or when we recorded, or
What's clipping?
actually did
Who's
the
clipping?
podcast? Me, of course I am.
Every time Jeremiah talks, he's
Well,
clipping.
Yeah, totally.
That's typical.
I mean, that's just he clips in life with a
Jeremiah's-
microphone.
Yeah, right. Like I blow earbuds or earballs out, as they say.
Who says that?
They say it all
people.
the time on Archer.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Yes.
Earballs.
Huh.
Yeah, I know. Another random reference from Jeremiah. Oh, I forgot to look
not
up that
a random.
song
I feel like-
name.
That's a pretty popular reference. I'm out of the loop on that one.
Oh, Archer's so good, man. Have you not watched
I also
all
feel
of
like
it?
while they say it a lot in
Not
Archer,
all of
it's
it.
not specific to
Yeah.
Archer
Yeah,
necessarily.
I mean, I haven't heard anybody else say it, but if they have, then I'll take your word for it. What is that song?
I don't know. Danger Zone?
Danger Zone. Highway to.
How's everyone doing tonight?
I'm doing
Doing
good.
Doing just fine.
All in the Family is the name of that song that we are going to sing on karaoke, Austin.
Doing good.
I'm not
Wow,
gonna sing
John's
that
super
song.
loud.
We're totally going to sing that song. Just look up the lyrics to it. It's great.
That's not gonna make me want to sing it.
Uh-huh.
I'm listening to this on
Jesus
a
Christ, John,
major
you're super
delay.
loud.
Wow. Like, John is super loud. He just blew out my ears. No, I'm not the one clipping. Why are you trying to kill us, John?
Riveting.
Oh, you're checking the stream audio.
Yeah. Whoa, I am loud.
Oh my gosh, did you not believe us?
I was checking the stream.
Sorry for your ears, everybody.
This is
No,
work
it's
in
not like it on
progress,
the stream.
apparently. This has been a work in progress for 3 weeks now. Have we done this for 3 weeks already? Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
3 weeks. I think we've gotten worse at it every week.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we have some major issues with Jeremiah's audio on the stream.
Yeah, what's
That's what I'm
And
trying
just Jeremiah in general, I guess.
Aw.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. And I'm like
Trying to
30
figure
seconds
out my
behind you
issues.
guys on conversation, listening to it through the stream.
No.
Well,
So-
why did you do that?
Because I had to listen to the stream.
You don't have to listen to the
Just
stream.
turn me down,
Now
dude.
you're like really quiet. So that's why
Oh.
I'm going back to that. So I won't be talking again because I can't keep up with your conversation.
All right, we're gonna sit here and just talk
Fuck
nonsense
with
for a little
John.
while again
All
while
right.
John does some more stuff.
Complicating it.
So I did download, or I didn't download. I guess I did download it. Persona 5 at Austin's behest
Uh-huh.
for $12, and
Only
I
$12 right now.
$12, and I went ahead and got Final Fantasy VIII on the Switch as well. So I'm
Yeah.
slowly building my library up because my Switch
JRPGs.
library is just sad right now. I got the two Nintendo like online things, and Zelda, which isn't even mine.
I really don't.
Nope.
I don't have a lot of
I really
Switch
wanted to
games.
play that today, and then I was like,
Oh shit! I should have
crap.
brought my Switch. I could have gave it back to you. I'm like,
Are you done?
No, I haven't been playing it very much. I've been addicted to Monster Hunter.
Well, I mean, it's not Monster Hunter, but it's a pretty solid transition to Switch.
Yeah,
playing
I know.
Breath of
I
the
need to
Wild.
play it. I want to play it. I just haven't sat down with it yet. Like I've played 2 hours of it so far, and it's good so far. But I don't know how I'll feel about all the weapons breaking by the end of it.
Yeah.
I get why people get annoyed by that.
Yeah. It's the most annoying mechanic to me, but people like it for some reason.
Why would?
It's
what?
fine.
All right, I guess.
Keeps it interesting.
I don't mind having one sword in Zelda. Like, that's the whole point of Zelda, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
and you
rather
do get that one sword later, and it doesn't necessarily break. So there's that.
it just loses its power and it has to recharge.
Yeah, it has its own weird mechanic, but it's not like you use it for a little bit and then it's gone. You don't have the Master Sword anymore.
Sorry, I'm busy staring at John's ass on screen.
Okay.
Okay.
What is that?
He doesn't know what we're
Work's
talking
calling
about.
me on my phone while I'm trying to figure out on this. So.
Just to hit the lock button twice. It'll send it to
The audio
voicemail.
still mutes.
Oh.
Okay, whatever.
Not if you hit the lock button twice.
Man, this is some great content, guys.
Mm.
I know. Sorry about this. I thought we had this all sorted out before.
Yeah, I don't know. I
before
don't
we
know
hit
what's
live.
It
happening.
sounded like it was
Okay.
good, but then
I don't
apparently
know
I
what
was
he's
blowing
doing.
up mics.
That was apparently only on our end too.
It
Now I
wasn't
feel
even
like
on the
I'm
stream.
super
It was just
quiet.
on our. It was on our actual recording. So like for the podcast, it would have been weird if John didn't dick around with it. He's back!
I am back.
Yay!
Welcome back to the present.
It sounds a lot better. I don't know if you could hear that on your end, Austin, but that was real bad.
I don't
Okay.
know.
The stream
I don't
was
know
like-
exactly what we were doing.
You'll hear it when you listen back.
Was it the stream that was messing up, or
It's
was
the
it the
stream audio?
Oh, I thought it was
the
the-
audio that I'm sending to the stream.
Oh.
You're like,
Like always.
That would make more sense if the whole time you were talking and I was saying how shitty you sounded at the beginning, and you actually just sounded really shitty.
yeah, it was pretty bad. Jeremiah was the worst, but even Doug was pretty rough on there.
Even I was pretty
Hello,
rough.
check. I think
Austin.
everything's good
Pretty
now. Though.
rough.
Austin, I'm going to read you some lyrics. Are you ready?
Oh, God.
What are we doing
This
here?
is what Austin and I are going to be singing. All right.
I'm
you're,
not
it sounds
singing
like
this
it's what
song.
you're going to be talking right now.
yeah. Well, I'm talking. I'm just
We
prepping
should-
Austin for these lyrics.
Okay, or we can do our show that we're trying to do.
I was just, like having
Nah.
fun. Excuse me. I didn't know that was allowed. Never mind. I won't read them on this stream.
Okay. What are we doing?
We're doing a podcast.
I don't know.
All right. We just want to dive into it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, which
Yeah, what are we talking about?
which
here?
story do you want to start with? Any takers? Anybody interested in story? Let's start with the Spider-Man story. Because the
Okay.
Spider-Man story, we can put that at the front of all the headlines and stuff, and people
Except
will
for
see
the
that.
one that's on the stream right now.
Yeah. So, which one's on the stream?
It's fine. Don't
I-
worry about it.
Don't know what's happening anymore.
We'll
we
start with the
are
Spider-Man story.
professionals.
No, we're
Who's
not.
leading it off?
It's
Jeremiah, you're
Jeremiah
leading
this
us
week.
in.
Is it my turn? Oh
You-
shit.
Yeah.
So I guess you get to pick.
Let's talk Spider-Man.
You want to talk Spider-Man? Hold on. Let
You
me.
talking about the Spider-Man MCU thing?
Don't worry, guys. I'll just fix this.
No, I'm talking about the man I saw that had a spider on his shoulder.
That's the Spider guy, the Spider-Man. Yeah. Should we do it?
Just let me know when you guys are
That
ready.
looked really dirty. You.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. I am going to pull.
Jeremiah's reading the articles.
I'm not reading the
I
article.
don't even know what articles we're doing here, so
We're not really doing articles. We're just,
doing
talking
stories.
Yeah.
Shit. I at least want to pull this
Eventually.
up. Yeah, I know. I'm just pulling some shit up. I'm prepping. We were doing all the we were trying to make the audio not sound like shit on our end for the first time in a while. So
it worked.
it did work. I'm actually surprised that
It's-
it took us
it's
15
nice.
minutes to figure it out as opposed to all day like it usually does. I thought I was going to have to.
Slowly getting better. Slowly
Mhm,
getting
yeah.
better.
Yeah, I just wanted these things. Okay. I am ready whenever
Okay.
you are.
All right. 25:48.
Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time of the day you're listening this. This is the Flightless Nerd Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jeremiah Larnard.
Okay, let's try that again.
Austin,
you
you're
would be
next.
next.
No, because we were doing the original setup, remember? But that's fine.
I don't know what you're
What
talking
are you
about.
talking about?
Where I went, then Doug, then Jeremiah, then John. That's how it's always been
Oh,
set up.
well, now you're after Jeremiah.
Okay, whatever.
Take two.
Whatever.
We're streaming. This is
I'm
people
like
are
trying
going
to
to
point
see
at
this.
you, but then I realized
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah,
see
we're
us.
like 30 seconds behind on the stream.
We'll just switch it up last second. Let's go.
26:39.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, or whenever you're listening this or watching this. This is the Flightless Nerd Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jeremiah Larnard.
And I am John Montgomery.
I'm Austin Bradford.
And I am Jeremiah Larnard.
What the hell is happening? If you've listened to us before, you know that's not true, but we're just going to roll with it. Welcome to the podcast. If you are watching live or watching on video on demand, we are on Twitch now, twitch.tv/Flightless Nerd.
If you're watching live or watching video on demand, you probably already know that.
Yeah, probably. Or if you're just listening and you haven't really been paying attention or haven't decided to check us out on Twitch, you can see us be complete screw-ups on Twitch if you want to at twitch.tv/Flightless Nerd. If you are listening to this on iTunes, welcome to Thursday, or Spotify, or any other
Stitcher
podcast.
or Google.
Yeah, whatever. We have some news, fun news that we're going to talk about tonight. You guys cool with that?
That's what we
Yeah,
do
sure.
here.
All right.
I'd prefer to talk fun news than not fun news.
I want boring news.
You want boring news?
Yeah.
So like tariffs?
What's going on with Benghazi?
Nothing much.
Apple stock is up $5.
No, fun news.
That could be interesting news for somebody.
The man of the hour, the self-proclaimed superhero messiah, is back in the MCU.
Has he proclaimed that?
I don't know.
That would be weird.
Maybe somebody else proclaimed it, but yeah, Spider-Man.
Somebody somewhere.
Spider-Man is back in the MCU. He is apparently Disney and Sony kissed and made up, and now there's a deal that I guess Sony gave up, Disney is fronting 25% of the cost of production for Spider-Man, but also taking 25% of the actual revenue of the movie. So they're getting a bigger take this time. So it looks like Sony caved a little bit just to have Disney kind of keep them in track with their Spider-Man stuff. What do you guys think about that?
I mean,
Well, I think any situation where Spider-Man is going to stay a part of the MCU is the right decision for the fans everywhere and everyone that supported Spider-Man. So I don't care how they got there. I'm just glad that they got there for at least one more movie. I don't know what's going to happen after that, obviously. But
They are
going
gonna
to
be-
see Tom Holland.
They're going to be producing another, I guess, the Far From Home, whatever his solo movies are. And then he's also going to appear in one or two of the other MCU movies. So
Okay.
they're still together for now.
I don't want to be the guy that was like, I knew this was going to happen or whatever.
We
but,
all did. Somebody
I
had
mean,
to cave.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You can't rip Spider-Man out of the MCU, really.
I mean, you could.
I mean, you can,
but
but I had a feeling it was just a major bluff on both ends. But
Yeah, they were just both
Trying to-
playing hardball, trying to see
trying to
who was going
leverage.
to cave.
I think Disney wanted like 50% or something like that. So the fact that Sony got them down to 25% is kind of a win on their part. I mean, they're still losing money on the deal comparatively to what they were getting, but it's better than giving up $500 million.
Yeah,
when it's all
I
said
mean,
and done.
Marvel and Disney were fronting like, was it 50% or was it all of the production costs?
I think it was
Like, a
all of it,
huge
and they
chunk
were
of the
just-
production, and
yeah.
then Sony was just taking all that money.
Yeah, they were just. I think
Yeah.
MCU was only, or Disney was only taking like 5% of revenue or something
Yeah.
like that. So I mean, it was still a lot of money. 5% of $1 billion is still a crap ton of money, but they were losing money on the deal. So I get why Disney didn't want to do that anymore. But that's the deal they signed in the first place. They just wanted to have Spider-Man in their toy box. I don't think they were thinking about, these movies are going to do so good, they're going to make $1 billion every movie that comes out.
They were already making tons of money before Spider-Man joined, so I guess they knew one way or the other they were going to be making that money back. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it's
It
not
makes sense that they do make some money back off of their property, though.
it's not like Disney's hurting. Disney and Marvel are doing just fine.
Yeah.
And they'll do fine for the foreseeable future, especially with Kevin Feige at the helm. But he's apparently going to be doing other things now too. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Star
He's going
Wars
to be doing
movie.
a Star Wars movie.
Star Wars, like all of the Star Wars
He's doing a
things.
Star Wars movie officially. There is speculation that he might just take over Lucasfilm, which would be great, but that's not anything official
Yeah.
at this point.
I guess we can also have that conversation about him heading up Lucasfilm. I'm not that sold on it. I don't think he'd be able to bring that much more to the table than what is already being brought to the table. for the Star Wars films.
With like J.J. Abrams coming back, I don't know. It just feels. I mean, with the Star Wars, the way they've been, it's been very disjointed because it doesn't feel like they have a.
Yeah, I mean, being able to bring a cohesive storyline, I don't think they could even do what the MCU did with the Infinity Saga with their next phase. I don't think they'll be able to pull that off again.
Well,
and I definitely don't think they could pull it off to that scope with Star Wars.
Yeah, and they're starting with a completely clean slate here. Like, this is all completely new material, so I'd be curious to see what he'd be able to do with that as opposed to just bringing a story that's already been written to the big screen. But I mean, that said, he's still done some amazing things with the MCU, so I'm sure he could.
Do
a good job over there.
Yeah, I'm sure he would do a good job. I think a lot of criticism that the new Star Wars movies get is that it has a lot of that Disney formula in it, as opposed to just like the old soap opera feel of the George Lucas films. And I think if Kevin Feige was over Star Wars, you'd see even more of that Disney formula start pouring in, where there's like the same type of jokes, the same type of, dialogue going on. I wouldn't want to see that in every Star Wars film.
No, I mean, yeah, you wouldn't want to see. You wouldn't want to see the same old from Star Wars, but at the same time, you definitely want there to be a cohesive story. It kind of sucks because there was some more news talking about how George Lucas kind of felt betrayed by Disney, the way they did like he was supposed to have more of a role in the storytelling of the new Star Wars movies, and apparently all the stuff he gave them, they kind of threw it out the window.
Yeah, when he made a deal with them, he gave them all of his plans for the next series, the next trilogy. So yeah, he was pretty broken up when they didn't use any of that.
Yeah. And that kind of sucks because, I mean, I don't know if it would have been any better than what it was, but it would have been different, than what we got with the last two movies. So hopefully J.J. Abrams can kind of like put a nice little bow on the last movie to end the trilogy, so it doesn't leave a bad taste in our mouth.
Trilogy of trilogies.
Yeah, to end the trilogy, like the Skywalker saga. Like we want to. I want them to be able to wrap this up and kind of send everybody home happy. I don't know how they're going to do it, but hopefully that they can get around to that. And then after that, bringing Kevin Feige in to just kind of lay the groundwork for, hey, here's where the stories should go and here's how they should intertwine. And I mean, I'm sure he's not going to like run everything like you guys said, but to have somebody just kind of be like, put a blanket down and be like, this is where we're staying within these bounds, but then do whatever you want to do. As I spill a beer.
Okay.
I mean, it will be good to just have somebody that is, I guess, just having one person that's in charge of where the story's going, like you said, as opposed to a different director every.
I mean, they do.
Film.
They do now. It's just that. What is her name? Kathleen Kennedy, who is the head of Lucasfilm right now, is just, they're not super happy with what she's been doing. And I guess her contract's coming up soon, which is why people are kind of speculating about who will take over from there. But yeah, so Kevin Feige is, for now, at least doing one Star Wars movie, joining, who else do we have? Rian Johnson, and then the Game of Thrones guys. Is there anybody else doing? Everybody's doing a Star Wars movie, I think.
I think
John Favreau is doing some Star Wars stuff too, right?
I would love a Tarantino Star Wars.
Oh my God.
And then also in other news, Spider-Man's back in the MCU. So we're all looking forward to more of that.
I forgot that's what we were talking about.
Just going to bring that one back around. And
I mean, all right, back to the Spider-Man stuff. But no, I mean, back to the Spider-Man stuff. I mean, they kind of had to, or Disney had to play ball a little bit. I think Sony had the upper hand because they kind of made Spider-Man the new Iron Man. Like they obviously are trying to get him to, be the, big, like, hey, here's the star of the show now. Because I don't know if they are 100% confident in Captain Marvel. I don't know. I can't tell with Endgame. I'll have to see how our next movie does. But Do you guys think, well, like, last question, do you guys think that after this last Spider-Man, do you think they're going to write him off and, just, like, kind of toss him back to Sony? Or do you
I
think
saw
they're
somewhere that was the plan. He'll be written out at the end of when they're done with him in this phase.
I think as long as he generates an income, he's going to stay there.
I think their deal was just for, again, one more standalone Spider-Man movie, and then at least like one or two crossovers with another movie, and then I think he's going to be written out after that.
Yeah, because I know Sony. I imagine that Sony will probably carry over the MCU Spider-Man.
They still have a lot of plans for him on their end.
Yeah, over to their Venom movie and stuff like that. And I think it'll be the same Spider-Man in the same universe, but just not affiliated.
There's gonna be a bunch of rogues, like villain movies, and it's like in other movies you have a bunch of heroes and then one central bad guy, except it's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's the central bad guy, only a good guy.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm cool with that. I do want to see Spider-Man in the Sony Spider-Man verse, because he's not right now, which is weird. But I liked Venom. Apparently a lot of people did, so I'm not alone on that. I would love to see Spider-Man interact with Tom Holland. I'd love to see, Craven's story actually include Spider-Man and a Morbius story actually include Spider-Man. So maybe Sony holds those productions off for a little bit and just be like, hey, we'll wait till we get Spider-Man back. But I feel like that would just be leaving money on the table at that point, especially with Venom doing as well as it did by itself. But Venom's a special character. Like, a lot of people just really like Venom just for Venom's sake. I don't know if the appeal goes that far for the other Spider-Man villains, but we'll see.
38-40.
Sorry, Doug. I know you tried to wrap it up.
I was going for a punctuation mark, and then it just kept going. I should have known better.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, I spilled beer on your carpet, John.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. It's electronics I care about.
There's no electronics over here.
No electronic carpets around here.
Yeah, I had a lot of things going on there. I was trying to figure out, so I wasn't very into that segment much. I was catching up on you guys while you as you were going.
Okay, what's next? Joy-Cons? Now that we're all happy members of the Switch family.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting it's Flightless _nerd. I said
Did
go
you
to
just
Flightless
promote the wrong one?
We got to get that from that dude. Because if you just go to Flightless Nerd.
Somebody else.
I mean, the underscore's fine.
It's whatever.
You're like...
Well, I'm telling them to go to a different Twitch channel.
It's so weird. You're not on the... You're not on the... I don't know. He's not on, like, the dark mode of Twitch, and it looks so weird to me.
Oh, shit. You're right. I'm not.
I was like, what are you on? Are we on YouTube over there?
You're not even on
Twitch. It's Twitch. It's just... I didn't know there was
a non-dark.
I didn't know there was a not dark theme.
I figured out that
I'm not even logged in, so that's another thing.
I figured out that you could do a pop out with the chat, so you don't have to actually have the Twitch up.
Congratulations.
Yeah. You're always so sarcastic.
That's what I'm here for.
I was about to say, that's why we love him. We almost made him run away from the stream.
I don't know anything about video games. I'm just here to make snarky comments.
How do you do a pop out with the chat?
Do what? Sorry, I was...
How do you
ask it
pop
nicely?
out the chat?
You go to the settings, right?
I don't know,
that's too much work. You don't know. I thought you said you figured out how to do it. I just assumed that you knew how.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let me pull Twitch back up. No, you just.
Let me Google it.
Let me remember.
In the chat.
Happened.
It's in the chat. You click on the little gear, and it just says pop out chat, and then it makes it its own window.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, and then
there's a lot of options.
Hello to our listeners on Twitch. I don't think
I've got like a split screen thing going. I got the chat over here, and then the browser.
Getting crazy.
So it's fancy.
I feel like we have a few extra people in here other than just us, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, that's kind of the idea of the streaming, but okay.
I'm sorry. Jeez. Goddamn.
Why would you
get out?
Why would you want to watch this nonsense?
I was just saying hi to him. I didn't realize Austin was going to get snippy. Oh, my feelings are hurt. I'm gonna drink this beer now.
We can start calling people out.
Put
by
it
name
into
if
your
you want.
mouth and not on the floor.
No. I'm good.
Our setup process had become so stressful that I just get angry by the time we're.
No shit.
I know it seems like everybody's on edge tonight.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing the setup Saturday wasn't that bad. Otherwise, Austin would have killed us off in the first 5 minutes.
It will be that bad once we're like doing it live.
All we gotta do is get one camera set up.
Let's talk about Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're up, Austin, because you're next in line.
I don't. It's ridiculous. I can't believe you guys switched it up on me. I'm so mad about that.
Sorry, we moved
Well,
the TV.
look at the stream. Look at the stream. It's me, and then it goes to you, and then Doug. And then
Oh, I didn't know.
I
I didn't know we were
notice
going
that.
by that.
There you go.
I was just
Like,
going by, yeah.
If you wanted,
I'm
if
just
you
going
wanted,
by the way we did it for 30 episodes, and then I realized, like, nope.
well, we didn't stream for 30
Sorry,
episodes.
we keep
All
moving
right.
the TV that you're on.
Give me a time code.
No.
4234.
All right, we are back, and it is time to talk about the Switch. We all have a Switch now, so we're Switch experts. We might have to get in on this class action lawsuit, though. Are any of you having troubles with your Joy-Con drifting?
I can neither. What's the word? Jesus Christ! Oh
Confirm
my God!
or deny?
Confirm or deny? Confirm. Confirm. That's
What's the word? Jesus. I cannot Jesus Christ this.
I can neither confirm or
I can
deny that,
neither
just in case
firm
a
nor
lawyer
soften
somewhere
that.
listens to this.
Oh, I can totally firm that.
So what's
Okay,
your comment?
so
Moving on.
nobody. has had
No,
the
I've
drift.
only had my Switch for what, 2-3 weeks now, and I played it not much, so I don't think I have to worry about that for a while.
I haven't noticed anything personally.
I haven't either.
But it's a good
So
thing I
is
didn't get the
the-
Switch Lite, apparently.
What's the difference? So the drift is not the issue with the Joy-Con disconnecting.
No.
No.
Does everyone
drift?
have that issue?
No.
No.
Mine,
Down or
my left Joy-Con will always like disconnect, and then I'll have to like fiddle with it to get it to connect in the middle of a game, and it's really annoying. And it's done it since I bought it. But what is the drifting issue? Who
The
wants to
drift
explain
is
that?
supposed to be like if you're not pressing anything at all, your character will do things on its own.
Yeah,
Like,
it's registering input when you're
Yeah.
not actually doing anything.
Yeah, a
It
very
just-
small amount of input. So, like, either character walking very slowly in a circle, or like your camera drifting around your
reticle
character.
kind of
yeah.
slowly moving off to
So-
the side.
I'm gonna assume it's from a dirty Joy-Con because people talk about spraying contact cleaner and it works fine for 6 months and it messes up
Oh,
again.
hey, but everybody also wants free money from Nintendo,
Yeah.
so
the $2 that they're gonna get.
I think it probably goes farther than just a dirty Joy-Con, considering
It has
that
to.
a
Well-
judge like called it a faulty product.
yeah,
And
they've
was
gone
like,
so far as calling it a product
Yeah.
malfunction.
And you can't really break open a Joy-Con normally to clean it out. It's not
No.
like it's like, oh,
I mean,
you,
people are spraying contact cleaner.
Also, I don't
everywhere.
really know if I want to be spraying liquid directly into my
Well,
electronics.
that's what contact cleaner's for. It's for electronics.
yeah.
Touche.
Yeah, but even so, I mean, like a normal everyday game player, or a kid
Yeah.
who is having this problem, who has a Switch, is not going to get contact
Grab
cleaner
their contact
and
cleaner
then
off the shelf.
Not like I
break
bought
open
contact
the
cleaner.
yeah.
That's what I was thinking this whole time.
I did too, and I was like,
No,
I'm
like-
not gonna spray that.
No,
in
it's
there.
electrical component cleaner. It's a spray.
It's like non-conductive, right? So
Yeah.
you can spray it on electronics.
It's special electronics cleaner.
But yeah, like you're not gonna have a
Why
kid.
don't you just call it that then?
Contact cleaner.
One of those nights. All right.
I wore contacts for years. I do.
At least
not
Jeremiah knew
clean
where I was going with
electronics.
that.
I thought Doug was more technically inclined. I thought he was going to be on the page before I was, but apparently not.
I was so far behind the page.
But then again, Doug is the only person with glasses
Even like
slash
when John
contacts. in this
said,
room.
like-
Yeah.
Even when John said it's made to go on your electronics, I was still just like, no, it's not. It's for your eyes.
No, I mean, I don't like get down and dirty with my electronics. I don't build things. I like code things.
Fair
I'm a software guy, not a hardware guy.
See,
Oh, there you go. That's a good.
that yeah. I'm definitely a hardware guy at that point. So
I was waiting for it. That's what she said. Joke.
That's what
Never came.
she
that's what
should-
seashell
That's
by
what-
the
That's why I don't do
seashore.
those stupid jokes, because I can't say it.
That is
That's
what
what she
seashell.
should.
So did you guys hear that there's a class action lawsuit against Nintendo about this Joy-Con drift thing?
Yes, and it also includes the Nintendo Lite now because they use
Nintendo
this.
Switch Lite.
Yeah, this Nintendo Switch Lite. Excuse me. But they use the same components in the Nintendo Switch Lite. And apparently they're even worse because people are already having Joy-Con drift in their lights. That's why it's been added to this class action lawsuit.
I wonder if they did a survey based on location, if they would notice anything. Because, I mean, if you live in, like, a really dusty area versus, like, you know, somewhere that's got...
All these Switches are made in, China and Taiwan.
Well,
so
I'm talking about the users.
Oh, I mean...
Okay, my opinion on this is it's kind of silly, but the lawsuit is. I think it's just a dirty controller issue.
Well, most lawsuits are, an issue. But at the same time, you can't break open a Joy-Con controller without voiding the warranty on it. So if it's a faulty product, and if they're selling the what are they, like $70 for a pair of Joy-Cons?
Yeah.
If they're selling them for $70, they better work.
I guess the argument to be made, though, would be like you don't have that issue with your Xbox or PlayStation controllers. So
yeah, because they use different components.
Yeah. But they don't
And
take
they're
them,
getting just as much as my finger grease in
but
them.
they're not as mobile either, though. So I don't know.
We're witnessing John having a debate with himself.
I'm having a debate. I am.
It happens.
John is a master debater.
Ha
Yeah. So, but I mean,
I'm bringing arguments to both sides of this, but I don't know.
I have cleaned. Being a former employee of GameStop, I've cleaned out all types of controllers, and they get disgusting. So yes, clean your controllers, people. There are ways to do it. Use a toothpick. It helps.
What is it?
Contact cleaner. Yes.
I still went straight to like your eyeball.
Yeah, use
Not
a
to be
contact saline solution to clean out your
confused with
Joy-Cons.
the eyeball cleaner. Please don't go spraying.
Don't spray it on your eyeball either.
Please don't go spraying eyeball contact cleaner in your
I guess,
controller.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jeremiah. Don't do that vice
cleaner
versa either.
Yeah, don't
versus contact solution.
don't spray contact solution in your eyeball either.
No, that's what it's.
I'm gonna call it electrical component cleaner from now on.
Yes,
there you
thank
go.
you.
Just to be safe and not have people
The ECC.
mad at us.
Nah.
For some reason, I was thinking there would be
Spread
a
the
P in
ECC
that.
on it. It just sounds like some political party.
That is my first job, the ECC, Evansville Country Club.
I feel like the ECC would shut us down for some reason.
Yeah. Totally. Anyway, so yeah, this Joy-Con drift class action lawsuit looks like it was. When was it filed? It was filed in July, I believe.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So apparently, the Switch Lite users are seeing drift after 20 hours of play, and that's it.
Woof.
So
Again, that
that's
makes me
bad.
curious, like if they're in like
that's
a really
not even a full
dusty
game of
environment.
Zelda.
There's no way it could get dusty enough in 20 hours of play.
I mean,
Probably
if you throw it in a litter
You
box,
might not have even made it off the step yet.
Yeah, right.
if you throw it in a litter box, you should be fine.
Yeah, I bet if you did throw it in the litter box, you're right. It would probably get dusty enough.
Oh,
You
Doug
got-
just burned John real hard.
I wasn't listening.
I know.
I didn't hear it.
You'll hear it when you listen back to this.
I don't listen
anyway.
to the show.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So yeah, if this starts happening, especially to me, with a brand new Switch, hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it, takes a while. But they said even like the new Switches, like with the better battery life and all that, that also they're seeing Joy-Con drift on that. So that's included in this lawsuit too. So they just use the same components to build all these Joy-Cons and the controllers on the Switch Lite, which apparently they went cheap. And some companies do that. I don't blame Nintendo. I mean, that's just a normal business practice, is to cut cost wherever you can. But I assumed they would have. I mean, they knew about this before they released the Switch Lite, so I would assume they would have changed the components at one point.
It was
but
before they released it, but I'm sure they had been producing
mass-producing
them
it.
already.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Shipping them out for a while.
I mean, I don't know. It just kind of sucks that people are having to deal with this. Hopefully, I mean, I guess it's a big thing. It's getting a class action lawsuit, but hopefully it's kind of just blown out of proportion, and it's not as bad as it seems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just need to lower the price on the Joy-Cons. That would make me feel a lot better about it. Because I don't want to go out and spend $80 on pair of Joy-Cons and
I have
them
not
work.
Yeah, I have not purchased additional Joy-Cons or a Pro controller because it's just so stupid expensive.
Yeah.
Like I would love to have one so I could actually like play games with people, but
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
the Pro
want to
controller,
because
isn't
it's
it like
stupid.
$30 though?
No,
the
it's
Pro
like
Controller
$70.
is
Oh.
60, 70 bucks. Yeah, everything on this Switch is expensive, which is really freaking annoying. I would love to play more Switch games. I'm not going to pay $60 for a 3-year-old game. It's just not going to happen. I might do it like on Black Friday or Christmas or something like that, buy myself like Mario Kart, but I'm not going to be dropping $60 on these old games all day, every day. So there's other new games that are coming out that I can get. So that's just a detriment to Nintendo at that point. They really need to do something about their prices. But what do I know? Maybe they're still selling all these games and making huge profits off of
I'm
them.
sure they are.
Sure they are.
Why else do you buy a Switch other than play Mario and Zelda and shit like that?
Exactly.
So anyway, the Joy-Con drift, it's a quick story, but the update was that the Switch Lite is also on it. So if you ended up picking up a Switch Lite, they're, keep an eye on it. Apparently they're going out too. So, and if you are interested in this class action lawsuit, I mean, there's, all you gotta do is Google it. I'm sure you'll find, how to get in on it. So, yeah.
Nintendo, fix your stuff.
Please.
$52.49.
Take that.
We showed them.
I'm sure Reggie is listening to us right now.
He's probably one of the viewers.
Probably. We're not
Yeah.
mad at you. We're just disappointed.
Yeah, like we just expect a lot more from you.
Please.
And I know that you don't work there anymore, but like that's not my problem.
Is it not?
I'm sure he's still got some sway.
I want to know who the F made Jeremiah a moderator.
Yes!
Yeah, I want to know who still hasn't made me one.
I'm finally a moderator. All
You
right.
haven't complained as much as
Who did
Jeremiah.
that?
Apparently it
Me,
was
I
not
did.
you, and it was, but you didn't even. Yeah. You haven't even
What?
added yourself, had you?
No, me and Austin were in there.
Oh, okay.
It's just, we were the only
Mhm.
ones.
Okay, gotcha.
That's not
Mhm.
true. Jesse was also in there, but we've been discussing Twitch with him for a long time.
Anyway,
No.
All right.
John.
Well, no, I'm not. You guys are dumb. Why are you guys all up in the chat?
I don't know. Why aren't you up in the chat?
No.
I
Stop.
got a sword.
Take his badge away.
No, don't do it.
Take that badge away.
Don't
All
do
right.
it.
Anyway,
What's next? PlayStation?
next is
All
I
the
take
PlayStation stuff. yes.
Jeremiah's.
Oh, you son of a bitch. He's not our boss yet. You don't have to listen to him.
Are you kidding?
I mean, not until he contracts us out.
Just for that comment.
Aw. I'm sad now. I will take my computer and leave now.
All right. See ya.
Give it back. I want to talk about
God damn it.
PlayStation.
Bastard.
Okay, so what all are we talking about Sony wise?
They got like the whole voice assist thing they're gonna do.
Oh,
For
the
all their games.
PlayStation Assist. There were a couple other things though, right?
The voice assist, state of play,
State of Play.
and Sean Layden
Sean Layden stepping
peacing
down.
out.
Who?
He was the
I know
president.
you keep telling me.
Are you
that.
just fucking with it?
All right.
what is happening?
He was the chairman.
Ugh, that was loud.
There you go.
All right. Well, this is the ASMR portion of the podcast, apparently.
Yeah, totally.
We're gonna have to make some etiquette rules for the stream.
Well,
For this room.
Oh.
Not even like the chat etiquette. They're all pretty nice, I guess.
I mean,
Yeah, they've been nice the whole time so far.
yeah, right. We love people who chat. Yeah. Already one of the
What I
rules
do.
is no singing Limp Bizkit. We should put that in our chat etiquette.
You know how much Limp Bizkit we get in chat now?
No, it would just all be Limp Bizkit then.
If anybody actually read chat etiquette. Usually
I
people
read
just
chat etiquette.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
It makes you sign I agree to this before you can chat.
Do you also read
you
the
don't read
Apple's
things?
term and conditions?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's upsetting.
I guess you don't agree to it.
Oh, I agree to it because my whole life is on Apple, but I'm not happy about it.
What's that South Park episode?
The
Sentai pad.
Sentai pad.
Yeah.
You
The
didn't
human
read
Sentai
the
pad.
This idiot didn't read the terms.
I love my new iPad. It does my homework and shits in Kyle's mouth.
What is happening?
I'm quoting South Park.
Yeah, I
This
got
is a show
that.
where we say things, and then John quietly, a few seconds later, goes, "What's happening?"
I don't know anymore.
This conversation just have gone way off rails tonight.
Yeah, this is a
Yeah.
weird one.
Yeah,
What are you gonna do?
there'll be some good highlights for the channel, though.
Yeah.
All right, we need to get moving.
Who's doing it?
It's past Austin's bedtime.
It's
believe you.
Doug's turn.
It's okay. You're getting out of order, man.
No,
You're
you're
going
not.
in reverse on us. That's
No, we're
screwing
going.
us.
What?
Going. I told him we're going for the podcast now.
Oh, we're going podcast order now. I guess I could just move those
But it wouldn't be
boxes.
podcast order because it was Austin, then you, then Doug.
I'm
We're
going
going
to
reversed.
blow
It
my
was him,
effing
and then
brains.
Austin.
I don't think that's something you can do on Twitch. I think that would get us canceled.
Are you guys messing with me?
That's
with
against the
with this order
rules.
thing?
I honestly
I
have
guess
no
I'll
idea
do
what
it.
we're doing. It's completely whoever.
Well, Doug would be if we're going by room order, but if we're going by screen order, it's not.
No.
No, it would be you if we were going by
went
room order.
Jeremiah Austin,
Then it would be you.
and then it would be
Oh,
you
yeah,
if it's
yeah,
room order.
That's what I'm saying.
It would
That's
be
what I'm trying
me
to
if
say.
it's.
If we're going
Yeah.
Twitch order, it would be
Twitch
me,
order.
Austin, Doug.
That's what I'm trying to say. I said it
Welcome,
backwards.
viewers. This is some wonderful content.
What's the point of this?
All right, give me a time code. I'll go next.
All right. 5832.
And up next, we have all kinds of Sony news from this week.
My favorite type of news.
First up, I guess we will start with the fact that Sony has filed a patent for something they're calling PlayStation Assist, which is, I guess, supposed to be their response to things like Alexa and Cortana, which I guess just this AI lives on your PlayStation, and you can ask it for details about the game you're playing, or like, where do I go next, or character information, or I don't know, all kind, whatever you want to ask your robot PlayStation about. How do you guys feel about
I'm
that?
hyped for this. I think this is a really cool idea. I know it's stupid and like who cares, but like I think it's a cool idea. Basically, it's a tablet, which of course you're gonna have to buy separately. But it'll be like a tablet that links to your PlayStation, and then you can have it there. And then if you're
It's a
playing the
peripheral
game,
you have to buy.
yeah, it's like a really fancy peripheral.
No, it would be on the PlayStation or on an app on your mobile device, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I don't know why I thought you'd have to buy like a PlayStation
Because it's Sony, and
screen.
you usually just have to buy a
Yeah.
peripheral.
I was about
That
to
would
say
make
that's
more
more
sense.
that's more of a Nintendo
you
thing
have
too.
you have to buy a
be
PlayStation
cardboard.
camera, and
Yeah.
then you also have to buy the PlayStation Assist box and plug it in to your PlayStation.
Yes.
And then you
No, but you're right. It's probably just an app. But basically, you'd be playing a game. Let's say I'm playing God of War, and I'm having a lot of trouble finding this last Raven, the
On your
platinum
PlayStation.
trophy.
Are you having
What?
trouble finding the
Oh,
last
sorry.
Raven?
For some reason, I heard Gears of War and thought that was a hilarious story you were telling.
Oh no, it's a God of War, I think.
Pretty sure
but
you
yeah,
said
I'm
God of
playing God of War, and I'm having trouble finding the last Raven, and then I just say, "Hey, PlayStation, where is the last Raven?" Or like, "Where are these Ravens?" And it'll, do a search for you and help you find them. And any other possibilities added onto that. So I think it's a cool idea. I'm surprised it doesn't exist already in Xbox with their voice assist that they've got embedded in their Windows operating system. So
Didn't they start
think it's cool.
putting Alexa on the Xbox or something?
well, it'd probably be Cortana if they did, but
But I feel like one
don't
of the
know.
other voice assist AIs has been added to.
I don't know.
Xbox or
I hadn't
something.
heard that. Maybe. What do y'all think?
I think it's cool. I don't know if it's
yeah.
going to work as well as.
Yeah, you can set up Alexa on an Xbox One.
I don't know if it's going to work as well as what they claim. I mean, it might down the road, but.
Well, yeah, because you would have to build this functionality into every game that you make.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if they put it on
necessarily.
the developer's side, of like
well, if we're thinking of it from just a strictly, this is just an AI bot, then I don't know. It would have to do some serious critical thinking to tell you where your next objective is.
Well,
on the map.
I think in my head it was just like a Google search that would like a smart search. It wouldn't like necessarily pinpoint, but it actually does. It is supposed to pinpoint your location on the maps and stuff. So
here, I'll read this verbatim from. Do you want to read it?
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is from the patent. For example, when a player gets stuck on a part of a gaming application, the player can request help through a query to a back-end game assist server. The query may be of any format or a combination of formats, including audio, text, video, etc. The game assist server is configured to match the query to modeled responses based on a current game context, blah, 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 blah. The player may want to gain more information about some aspect of the gaming application, such as character information, strategy information, overall popularity of the gaming application, scheduling a time to play with friends in a multiplayer format through, I don't know, just this list goes on and on, all kinds of stuff you can do. But yeah, there's also, it says somewhere that like it can find the next objective on your map and like put a waypoint there for you.
So from a technical standpoint, I think it's going to have to be actually coded into these games. Like you're going to have some sort of waypoint system or something like that.
Somehow, just some kind of marker that it knows to look for anyways.
Yeah. So if I had to guess, all of your games that were created before the release of this probably won't have that functionality, or they'll probably only have a certain amount of functionality.
This would just be built into like the PlayStation 5 and any games that come out for that onward.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I mean, there might be somebody that they have some third-party person that sits down and just clicks out waypoints or something. I don't know.
Nah, because I mean, hell, when Sony goes, "Hey, we're doing this, and it's mandatory you do it for our games," like trophies.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
They'd
have to have something like that almost, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, if they're like, "Hey, this is coming out, we're making it mandatory for all games at this any game that comes out after this point, then it has to be compatible with our software."
That would certainly be the easiest way to handle it.
And then it's on the publishers at that point if they want to get their games on Sony, which they usually do. So they usually just comply. Really, I mean, like using it in game, I guess I don't care that much because it's just as easy to pull up. I mean, I guess I've used like video tutorials for like, finding stuff on different games before. The coolest thing I've ever seen with Cortana is my buddy had, his whole entertainment system set up, and it was all Microsoft stuff, and he could just go, "Hey, Cortana, turn on my Xbox," and it would turn on his TV, his Xbox, his surround sound, all that stuff. It'd all come on. He'd never have to push a button. I'm like, that's a cool feature, and that would be cool to have for the PlayStation, and like I guess that would be cool to have, but is it necessary? Nah, but I mean, if it's like a free app, then why not have it? I download the mobile PlayStation Play where I can play my PS4 on my cell phone, so I'd try that stuff out, and I'm not against it in any means. It's just I'm probably not going to use it that much.
That was the problem I had with Zelda, though. I've always been the person that refuses to look things up. I'm like, I have to figure this out myself. So
yeah, we know.
I don't know that I would use it all that much unless I just want to know some obscure information, more of like a Google search type of thing. But
yeah,
I think it's a cool idea. I mean, there's certainly people out there that rather, progress through the story rather than try to like solve everything themselves.
It really depends on the game. I mean, if it's a game where, I'll put an example like World of Warcraft, where it's just like, oh, you have to do this, this, and this to meet this objective to get this item, and it's like, all right, well, I would like to have that listed out on my phone. Do that, and then it lists it out, so it goes, okay, now I gotta go do this next, and then you can check it off when it's done. As opposed to, where do I go next, or how do I beat this boss? Like, I mean, I guess you could implement that as well, but
hey, PlayStation, beat this boss for me.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Play my games for me, PlayStation. So, there's ways you can use it and not be too intrusive. And I'm sure there's, you don't even have to have it. Like, if it's all in the back end, who gives a crap if they put it in or not? Good on Sony that they just want to have more stuff for more of their people to buy. I'm not against it.
Yeah. That's cool. That was part of the Sony news that we wanted to talk about. The second half of this news is, let's just go ahead and talk about the breaking news that just happened before we started recording. Sean Layden is no longer going to be heading Sony Interactive. That just hit Twitter today on Monday.
Like 2 or 3 hours ago.
Yeah, that's kind of big news. Like, he's always been the guy at Sony, so it'll be interesting to see where they go from here. Like, what Sony's going to look like after.
He has been kind of a public figure with Sony for 5-ish years, maybe 6 now. He was the one that hosted the E3s that Sony did. He wasn't there this year because Sony wasn't there, but and he was pretty well liked. I don't remember anybody talking crap about him. So
he seemed to be well liked. He was a good kind of like American face of the company. I think Shuhei Yoshida is still like the guy.
Yeah, the guy for Sony. Yeah,
gonna be pumping out the games, and he's still there. So I don't think we have to worry on that end. But it is interesting anytime you see such a face of the company step down.
Well, he was the chairman of Sony Worldwide Studios, so he basically took care of everything that was outside of Japan, because Shuhei is the guy for Japan, in the headquarters of Sony. But like everything like worldwide, America, Europe, all that stuff, that was under Sean. And it's really interesting that he's stepping down now. That's all we know is he's no longer going to be there. I don't know why he would, but it's really interesting that he is stepping down right now, because PlayStation 5 is about to get officially announced, and they're going to start a whole new console generation. So,
it's odd. Yeah, like the only reason I could think of that he would be stepping down from a position like that is just to like take a leave of absence from work or to retire. But it didn't say that he was retiring.
Yeah, maybe he's just got a job offer that he's like, no, I want to try this out for a couple of years now. I mean, when you get to be that big of a bigwig, it's not unheard of for people to jump around and just try new things, and just, when they get bored with a job because they have the financial stability to do so.
It might not even be bored. It might just be stressful dealing with all that all the time.
Maybe.
It's stressful in any high-level position, So, yeah, totally. But a lot of the times you'll hear, if it's amicable, and it wasn't Sony going, hey, get the hell out, you'll hear Sean being like, no, I just wanted to pursue this project or something like that. If it's not amicable, we'll probably hear about that in like 3 or 4 years, when somebody writes a book about it. It's just, but we don't know until then, or until
we'll see what happens
Sean says
whenever
something.
He's at the next Stadia Connect.
He's the new Reggie. He's at Nintendo now, so I mean, I don't know. And it's like I said, just weird timing with the new systems on the horizon. I figured they would want to have a stable upper management, but what do I know? I'm not a giant mega corporation that's making billions of dollars a year. So, speaking of making billions of dollars a year, State of Play and new games and that will sell millions of copies, like Last of Us 2, or got new trailers and all that stuff last week, right? It was last week.
Yeah, it was last week. It was the day after we recorded last.
Got an official release date, and Austin nailed it. Props to Austin. Cheers on that.
What was it, like February 22nd?
21st.
21st.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good one.
Oh yeah.
I guess the biggest news items to come out of that were the Last of Us release date. I guess if you are, for some reason, not owning a PlayStation 4 at this point and are not waiting for the PlayStation 5, there's a Death Stranding limited edition bundle, PS4 Pro, if you're interested in that. It looks cool. But
the controller looked really cool. It's kind of like this pale orange controller.
Reminds me of
that controller.
The old N64
Oh, the console.
controllers.
Yeah, the console itself looks awesome with the black handprints on it. But at the same time, I would not recommend anyone to buy this, especially with the new systems coming out so soon. Save your money if you don't already have a PS4.
And also Stadia.
Yeah,
coming out.
Stadia,
Yeah.
and you know,
there's your
the new
4K
Xbox.
gaming right there.
Yeah.
I'm quickly jumping on the Stadia bandwagon. I am.
Yes.
I'm not there yet,
One
but
more.
I'm getting there.
The Founders Edition might still be available. I haven't looked.
It is
but...
for now. I still have to. I need to order it before it's
Oh
out.
my gosh, Doug.
I
thought you
know.
already ordered it.
No.
I know
I
he
did.
ordered
What's
it.
the difference
but
between the
Wall
Founders
is pretty
Edition
tight.
and the?
you get to play
it
earlier.
Doesn't have. Well, it doesn't have the 3 months for a buddy, and the controller it's the regular white controller.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you
You
get
get a
think the
limited
date- the
edition like
date's still the
blue
same.
controller with Stadia.
But you also
Founders
get the
Edition.
HD Chromecast with the Founders Edition.
Oh,
and stuff.
really?
Like the new edition that they're releasing, not the Founders Edition, but it's like you get a white and you still get the Chromecast, but you don't get the 3 months for a friend or something.
Yeah,
like
it's
that,
not
so-
the limited edition controller, and you don't get the buddy pass.
Yeah,
or
but you
whatever.
still
I'm
get
pretty sure
everything
it
else.
ships the same date.
And it's the same price, I think. So
Is
you
it-
get a
yeah.
little
What was
bit
it like?
extra
It was
with
like
for
it was only like
pre-order.
$100
$100 or
120.
something, wasn't it?
120. What was it not? 100? I was thinking 170.
It's like 120 or
Yeah,
something.
all right.
It really wasn't that expensive.
Yeah, the other big news that I kind of wanted to talk about this was more of a controversy. I don't know if you guys realize this, but with that Call of Duty trailer that dropped during State of Play, they announced that there is a mode in Call of Duty that will be exclusive for PlayStation 4 for a year. And people are kind of pissed about that. Because Call of Duty only really lasts for a year before the next one comes out, and they're locking off an entire mode for anybody who would want to play it on PC or Xbox. Or I don't know if this is releasing on Switch or not. I don't think it is, but
Well, Call of Duty's always kind of had that PlayStation exclusiveness, and this isn't really anything new. It might be. So what is it they get exclusive for PlayStation again?
they get it's a whole mode. I don't know the details of the mode itself. I don't think it's the Horde mode, and maybe it is the Horde mode. It's not like the Battle Royale mode that they had in the last Call of Duties. But I think it's like a Horde-ish type of mode where it's just you and a couple of buddies like killing a bunch of like NPCs. Which people tend to like, that is just like maybe a zombie mode. I don't know if it's going to have zombies in it or not, but something like that. But yeah, Sony usually has some sort of exclusive rights with something in
It's usually
Call
like
of Duty.
it's usually like a map or something that
For-
is only available on PlayStation for a while.
For like a month or two, not ever a year. And that's why it's a big thing, is because it's like, oh, this is going to be exclusive to Sony till October of next year when the next Call of Duty comes out. So
Yeah.
I
Get why people are mad, but
Yeah.
this is just the way the video games work in 2019. There's exclusives. There's always going to be something exclusive to something.
I'm cool with exclusive games, but if you're locking off an entire mode away from people, that's just weird to me. I mean, like, I feel like Sony had to pay a lot of money for that, and I don't know if this is going to look
Probably
bad
did.
on Infinity Ward or if it's going to look bad on Sony in the long run. Because
I don't think that lands on Sony. I think that's
No.
up to that's up to Activision.
Oh,
really.
yeah, sorry. I guess, but I don't know. I just kind of wanted to get you guys' opinions on it, see if you had any other input other than mine.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother me again, but I have a PlayStation, and I'm not really planning on playing it anyway. So I'm not. My opinion probably isn't valid in that conversation, but it doesn't bother me.
What do you guys think about locking off a mode from
It's
other
an interesting
consoles?
decision, but I guess if you want to just keep that exclusivity going with Sony or whatever other console that you want to do it with, that's your choice.
I mean, it's the same thing as a exclusive game, right?
Not really.
Not
I mean,
exactly.
Kind of.
not really.
I
Because
don't know. I guess.
because it's like, hey, I know
don't
this
know.
mode exists, and I know it's on this disc, or maybe they just because usually it's the same code, for the disc, right? So it's just like, all right, this is an Xbox disc, this is a PlayStation disc. So like maybe like if people like get into the code of it and see that mode is available, it's just locked off. That's going to be even worse, because it's like, oh, it's on my disc, I'm just not
sure they
allowed to
won't do
play it
that.
until they unlock it like a year down the road.
I'm sure if you're like on Xbox, you won't see that random mode that you can't play. That would just be nonsense.
It wouldn't be the first time something like that has happened. I mean, remember the hot coffee controversy? People were able to get into the code of GTA and they found, oh no, that's still there. It's just turned off. And same with like some fighting games that came down on the road. It's like, hey, these characters are DLC characters. You have to buy them after the fact, or they were pre-order characters, and you can only get them if you pre-order them. The data for them were on the disc, but the unlock to get that data or to switch that data was the code that you had to buy online.
Yeah.
So you had to buy.
We're a little beyond that in terms of technology, though. You
I
actually
don't
have to
see
like
what's wrong with
download
that,
this
though,
DLC content to your device.
Well, the thing is you bought the product. It's there on the product, and you have to pay more to get the rest of your product unlocked.
Yeah,
that's
would you rather just download that as a patch?
Yeah, because then it's not on the disc. It's not something you buy. You had already bought. See what I'm saying?
That's a technicality in my mind, but whatever.
I don't know. Like, well,
that's what I mean. Things just work differently now. Like
Yeah.
you are actually downloading that
I mean, you
extra
couldn't-
data to your device
back in the
when you
day,
pay for it
yeah.
and get it.
Back in the day, you couldn't.
It's not going to already
do
be there,
patches.
just be locked.
Yeah, back in the day though, you couldn't do patches as easily either, though. Like,
I guess that's true.
Couldn't do 'em.
Like I
Yeah,
said, if
because
it's
all
not
that data was
yeah,
on
if it's
that
not on the
that
disc,
you
it's
bought.
not there at all.
if it's not on the
Exactly.
disc, it's not there at all. I'm better with it. But if it's there on the disc and somebody finds
I mean,
it on
think
the disc,
even
it's
when
like,
you buy it- even
I'm
when you
not-
buy
over
it-
to be
not a
honest.
fan
Even
of
when you
that.
buy a disc now, you put it in and then you have to wait for 2 hours to download all the extra data and install it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the same in my mind. It's the same thing as saying, okay, the last level of this game is on the disc, but I can't access it unless I do all this other stuff. I should be able to access it right away.
Well, if you get into the code and you just
Yeah, you can
mix
just
it
do
up
some
a little,
things and-
there you're already there.
Yeah,
that's
but
kind
you
of the same
don't-
thing in my mind.
But you don't have to pay for the last level. See, that's the difference. You have to
Well, I
pay.
mean, I'm sure
you have
there-
to pay for something that's already on your. If you had to
Okay,
pay for that
so-
last level, would you be pissed? It's like you
Would you
got there and it's like, no,
be-
you owe us $5 before you can play this last level.
So say they have all these characters for all these, these NBA games or whatever.
Yeah.
If they decided to preload some of that on the disc so that they didn't have to force you to download all this extra data, would you be upset with that?
No.
If you don't have access to it though, like you gotta still do the slot machine to get your character.
Yeah, but you don't have to pay to get it. You can
Yeah, you do.
eventually.
That's what the slot machine is. You pay for it.
You can. You don't with microtransactions. There is always a way. The way
Of
they get
course we
around
would
that.
come around to
Yeah, right.
microtransactions.
The
somehow.
way they get around that is you can play the game, get that currency, or you can buy that currency. You don't have to buy that currency.
Right.
I think we're
So-
way off target here, anyways. What
I'm
were we
saying if it's
talking about?
if the Call
an
of Duty,
exclusive mode
yeah.
on Call of Duty on PlayStation, right?
if something that is on the disc is locked behind a paywall, I think that is shitty. That is my take on it. But
It's not locked. It's
call
it
locked
shitty.
behind a time wall on
Yeah.
other
Hey.
systems.
You call it shitty, I call it a surprise mechanic. So, I mean,
I'll just agree to disagree on that.
Fair
I don't
enough.
think there's. I don't think either. one's
I'll
gonna win
agree that was
I
all
really don't
over the
have an
place, and we
opinion
were
on
all
it, so.
talking about different things. So
Yeah,
uh,
true. Well, that is us arguing about arguing about Call of Duty and locked paywalls or timed exclusives. Let us know what you think at Flightless News on Twitter.
119.16.
to quote Asmon Platinum, this blows.
where we call in, we live. WTF? No Discord. Jesus. You need
Discord
talkers. This blows.
Discord.
Thanks for
Discord
dropping in, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
Sorry.
We don't have our Twitch fully fleshed out because we're relatively new to it. So
Well,
No,
that's
what was he
also
trying to do?
suck
He was
it.
trying to like
He's wanting to call in, I
into the
think.
show.
Yeah, he wants to call in and
But the
talk
thing
to
is,
us.
we're recording a live
That's-
podcast, so
Well,
it's,
that's not ever happening ever. I don't care. I'm not letting random people call into our show.
You can get us up or hit us up at what is it? Contribute? No, not contribute. Sorry, let me look this up. Real
John
quick.
on Fire.
John on Fire. Yes.
that's me.
Where the hell did it go? Oh, I closed it. There it is.
Podcast at flightlessnerd.com.
Yeah. Questions, podcast at flightlessnerd.com. If you write in, we will read your questions or concerns, or you can talk to us on there, and we'll read that on the next podcast.
And we will chat
wherever we
with
get-
you in this chat, too.
Yeah, we'll
It's
totally
just-
chat in the chat.
in the Twitch chat.
You know,
But
but
just blowing it up like that, though, that doesn't really.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, some entitled viewer.
And mostly we won't reply during our segments either. So like if we're actually doing a segment,
If it's relevant, we.
and
might.
yeah, if it's relevant, but just random stuff.
Cool. All right. Well,
Anyway.
thanks for dropping in and giving us 5 seconds of your attention. We appreciate it.
We always appreciate constructive criticism.
Jesus, you need talkers. This blows. Very good.
It's a nice.
We do. So maybe stick around and talk a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What's up next? Is that it?
We're gonna do our what's on our plate.
What's on my
Is that it?
plate?
No, we got to do what's on our plate.
That it?
Oh my god.
That is it. That is all we have to do.
I think what he was wanting, or what could be get around that, is we can set up like a Discord channel for our viewers where they can't call in to us, but they can chat in Discord as opposed to
That's
Twitch.
literally what Twitch chat is for.
I was like, that's what the Twitch chat here.
Well, yeah, I agree, but I mean, like,
we could set up a
Patreon
tier where you can only chat in Discord.
I mean, we could set up like a
that is
community
something
Discord
we
if
could do.
people prefer to chat in that. But I mean, we're not gonna like take live calls like a debate
Larry King
or
or something.
I don't know.
Well,
Maybe
I've
we
seen
could
people
someday,
on
but
Twitch.
I'm not gonna just.
Yeah.
We wouldn't just have some random chatter in there, out of the blue.
I mean, if we like were just by ourselves, or if it was just like me or just Doug like sitting there, it's like, yeah, call in and we can just randomly talk and debate shit. But
Yeah, so maybe we should do like a
for the
separate-
actual
We
podcast,
need like a
we won't do
producer to answer the phone and screen calls for us. Is
Yes.
what we would need in that case.
that.
Maybe we should just do a separate Twitch thing where we just talk to people on here sometime.
Yeah, something like that.
That's something we
Absolutely.
could do. Is just like
something
a
like
separate
that.
show.
And that's what like streaming for. It's just like, hey, we got our Discord open. If you want to like call in, something like we could do something like that, but not for the actual podcast.
yes,
podcast.
we are all
so.
on the same page.
So,
What's
I don't
on
know if I
our
am.
plates.
I was gonna say, Asman Platinum. If you come back and listen to that, we will consider something like that, just not for this particular live show.
Thank you for your constructive feedback. We greatly appreciate it.
AKA, we're working on it.
What?
Just trying to grow our community, Austin.
What? What are we doing?
I believe we're talking about what's on our plate.
That's it, right? We're done. I'm going home.
Oh, yeah, hey, if you want. Like,
I hate this show. You guys keep convincing me to come back every damn week.
This was your idea.
I know. That's why I hate myself. It's a glutton for punishment. All right, let's
I
do
don't
it.
know. I enjoy it. I don't know about you
I
guys.
know. I'm just.
Just make a note so I remember what to talk about.
no, I was just gonna say you want to change the text scroll real quick.
You're right. I was updating the wrong thing.
Sorry. All right, John, your turn.
Okay. We good to go?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you are.
123.44. Okie dokie. That's it for the news. We're gonna go into our personal lives now, a little bit. Doug,
Not too personal, I hope.
Doug, what have you been doing?
Personal.
What you been doing,
I
Doug?
got a few things, I guess.
Really?
I started playing Arkham Asylum, which I kind of got shit from you guys for last week.
It wasn't.
You haven't played Arkham Asylum.
I was surprised.
Yes, I started playing Arkham Asylum. It's how old is it? A 10-year-old game. It's featuring Batman and the Joker. So that's that. I mean, it's pretty good so far. I started it on stream. I'm gonna keep playing it on stream.
How far did you get into it?
Officer Boyles is dead. Officer Bowles is dead.
Spoilers for a 10-year-old game. Yeah. So you're just kind of getting started, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm like 3% through the story.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to be streaming that on the Twitch, or on our Twitch channel on Wednesday evenings, I believe. So tune into that.
A little note. I want to comment on the Arkham series
Sure.
real quick. I went and booted up Arkham Knight the other day just because it was free and I hadn't played it in a long time. So I booted it up and played a little bit. After playing Spider-Man, that combat system is like the Spider-Man game is so much better at the combat than the Batman game was, which is crazy because I remember the Batman combat being so good. And it was just crazy how much how much clunkier it felt.
It's just
Spider-Man
different.
just does it so much better.
It was good for its time.
Yeah. I mean, it was the building block for like all the games that were to come out like that for a while, because everybody used the Arkham, like, oh, press triangle to counter, one hit, use combos, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, it was a stepping stone. So, yeah, it is different.
It's still good, and like, it's just when you're removed from it and you've seen it done better now, it's weird to go back to it.
Fair.
And it runs a little choppy on my PC, which I don't know if that's my PC's fault, if it's the fact that I'm streaming at the same time, or if you mentioned, Austin, that it's just the ports aren't great. So I don't know if it would run that way.
I think it's probably a little bit of everything. Things, I know that the Arkham Knight port was basically unplayable. I don't know if they ever.
Well, I have that on PlayStation because it was free.
So you won't have to worry about that. But yeah, I heard that the PC version playable, and I think City had the same problem, but I think they fixed that too eventually. But they aren't the
I guess I'll find out.
So.
Yeah, so Arkham, doing a little Arkham streamathon. Aside from that, I finished Ready Player One.
Woo!
Finally.
Yeah.
I know you all were waiting on me, so I guess we can start.
But I haven't read it in a while, so I actually need to go back and
everybody listen to it again.
Yeah, I might need to listen to it.
John, you said you're like halfway through your second.
Yeah, I'm going through it again.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I was going to mention in my side, but
yeah, so we can finally start planning our Ready Player One episode. Finally, that we've been talking about forever. I also, after finishing that, went back to the King Killer Chronicles, which, oh my God, are just the best books ever.
Very good.
I'm like 3/4 of the way through the second one, so everybody go pick that up. Those are such good books. It's The Name of the Wind is the first one. The Wise Man's Fear is the second one, and there is a third one on the way, supposedly, eventually.
It's getting the George R.R. Martin treatment.
Yeah, except I expect Patrick Rothfuss to actually finish it.
Yeah, he's younger. He won't die before it gets finished.
Yeah, we played D&D for the first time on Saturday, so that would be, I guess, my final thing that I did this week that I would care to talk about.
That was fun.
That was fun. I'll agree.
We got a little easy. What do they call those campaigns that are already
module?
Yeah, a module. Started one up. It was my first time actually DMing. It was a good time. We made some ridiculous characters.
We completely rolled completely random characters. So yeah, those got pretty wild.
Yeah, it was a good time. We look forward to doing that again. And as we mentioned last week, we are working on a real play Dungeons and Dragons podcast that will be coming out sometime
after we finish our practice campaign and get comfortable playing this ridiculous game.
Oh yeah, I need a lot of practice if I'm going to be doing that.
That's what we're doing.
I played with you guys at one time, but I had no clue what was going on there.
That was a garbage session.
Any clue.
Yeah, there wasn't much going on, so
That's the thing. It's tough to get started when nobody has done it before. You've had some experience with it, right?
I've had some experience, but I mean, the whole point of it is just, hey, this is your character outline, and what we did is we created our characters, but we didn't choose personally. We actually rolled random characters, so everything came up was just we got to do it on the fly.
Yeah.
We ended up with 3 small people.
A dwarf, a halfling, and a gnome.
And we all had very interesting quirks to our, and I enjoyed that kind of, hey, this is how we're going to create our characters, because then it really just does flex your imaginative muscles. So, my character, he is a halfling politician who is under the political belief of anarchy is best. So I have to figure out how that character is going to be involved in the world.
Has stage fright. You forgot that.
And that has stage fright. So I got to figure out how that goes into the character and role play as that character, which I've never done anything like that. So I'm actually very interested in playing this type of campaign, and then the actual campaign that we're going to be broadcasting for sure, because I think we're going to put a little bit of us doing stuff with this one like on YouTube, right? Or just us.
Yeah,
like,
we've talked about recording it as some kind of bonus content.
Yeah. But like our actual, like, hey, we're taking this one a little bit more seriously. We do have
actually taking time to prepare.
Yeah, we've prepared. We have like backstories and pre-made characters, and it's just like, hey, we can get more into the mindset of those characters. But yeah, like this campaign is more or less us going, how can we screw up the story that's being told to make Austin want to murder us on the game board?
That's not what we're sitting down to do. That's just what we end up doing.
What you're sitting down to do.
That's just what we end up doing.
I was about to say, even Kendall, Doug's lovely wife, decided to.
Hey, that's my wife, man.
Yeah, I know. She was a very nice person. She's a very lovely person. Can't even give people compliments anymore. Kendall was even like, "Oh, I had a great idea. I just didn't use my gut instinct onto like how to mess with this campaign.
How to completely derail the story."
And I was like, "Do it next time. It's gonna be awesome." And so
and that's what I think. I don't know. We all, like you said, we just sat down for the first time, rolled these characters, and didn't really have a lot of chance to get into these characters. So I think having some time to kind of think about it and really figure out who this character is will make the next one go a little better.
It'll be fun. I've got some good ideas for it.
Cool. I will boop all undead creatures on the nose.
We'll see if that ever works.
Not be booping that.
Boop.
So I guess based on this weird screen we have in front of us, John, you're up next. What you got going on?
Just a regular PC monitor. I don't know if it's weird.
It's so far away, I can barely see it. I'm pretty sure that's John, though.
Okay. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot this week, really. I'm reading the last book of the Divine Dungeon series, so it's taking me quite a while because I have to actually sit down and focus on reading rather than while I'm doing something else.
That one's like 70 hours long, right? Or no, the audio.
I think it's shorter than the one before it. But
okay.
It's the fifth and final book. It's Dungeon Eternium.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really new to bring to the table on that series. If you haven't heard about it before,
Dale's still doing his thing.
Dale's really doing his thing now.
Is there a mob of Bob?
You have no idea.
Still a mob of Bob?
Yeah, there's Bobs.
Okay, cool.
Plenty of Bobs.
Bob the Bob.
Lots of Bobs.
Bob the Mob.
But yeah, it's a great series. If anybody wants to check it out, it's the Divine Dungeon series by Dakota Kraut. Always give the disclaimer: the first 10 or so chapters of the first book is rough, but
just garbage.
It's not garbage.
Plain garbage.
It's not garbage. Just
trash.
Just a lot of setup. So
the rest of the books are good.
Yeah, there's just a lot of setup in the first 10 chapters or so just be prepared for that. But after that, it picks up pretty quick and it just goes. Other than that, I mentioned last time that I was on that I'm going through the Ready Player One book again, about halfway through it. It's kind of cool. This is the second time I've gone through it, so it's kind of cool kind of knowing what's going to happen in the future. You can look back and like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. It fits in, these obscure references that you don't really catch the first time around because you don't know what's going to happen in the future. Other than that, I borrowed Mario Odyssey from Doug. I've been playing a little bit of that. That's pretty fun. I like it more than what I thought I would. I was kind of hesitant on buying it just because
I love Odyssey.
I was about to say it's so Mario. It's kind of like, have they ever missed on a Mario game? Like,
well, I wouldn't say they missed, but like I wasn't real big on like the Mario 64. There's something about it. I don't know. I like the side scroller Mario games, and the 3D thing kind of just.
Sorry,
it's okay. It's not bad.
Kind of died for a second.
I wasn't. So this is similar, but you got some extra stuff you can do in this one. So I think that's what keeps it entertaining for me. The hat's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the last Mario game I played was the one on Wii, so Galaxy. and I loved it. I mean, it only took me like 20 hours to get to the end of it, so I can usually blow through a Mario game pretty quick. But I want to play another one again, like an actual Mario game, so I'll eventually get around to it. Like I said, with the new Switch, there's a lot of things I need to play, and I just got to find the time to do it.
Odyssey's really good. I like it. I've been doing that and playing the old Super Nintendo games on Switch. But other than that, not a whole lot.
Cool.
Jeremiah, you got something going on?
I need to admit something, guys. I might have a problem.
We know.
Like an actual addiction to Monster Hunter. Like, I was meaning to play Gears of War 5. I have it downloaded. I was going to try it out and let you guys know how it is. I was meaning to play more games on the Switch and a couple of other games on the PC and just kind of diversify so I had something else to talk about. And as of this afternoon, I have over 220 hours into Monster Hunter.
Wow.
Yeah.
You need help.
Like, I can't stop playing it.
Have you gone to work?
I have. I have. It's all I really do outside of work is I just want to get back and play. Iceborne's so good. Monster Hunter, it just sucked me back in. Because remember when we made characters, right? And we were like, hey, we're going to play new characters. And I've only been playing on the character that we made. That character alone from when we made those characters, I have 150 hours on. The extra, like, I got another like 80 or something on my first character, so I just have not stopped playing it. I got to the end game of Iceborne. They threw a completely new map at me, where I was just like, oh, I didn't even know there was like more of this game other than like the ice map that they introduced at the very beginning of Iceborne. But the new map is actually like a combination of all the old maps put into one, and it's just basically go out and slay as many monsters in a row as you can. You get a group of 4 together, and you just go out there and you raise the levels of the map so harder monsters show up, and they're all like already hard to begin with. So it's just like, oh, this is an end game. There's new, and then there's hidden monsters in this area. So there's even monsters I haven't even seen yet. And it's just like, holy crap, how much more of my time am I going to have to put into this game before I like don't feel like playing it anymore?
How are you
I
not
think.
bored with it though? That's what I want to know.
It's an amazing game, man.
Does it bring that?
Does it bring that much joy to your life?
No, well, just newness.
It
Like,
must
it's
scratch
not
some
repetitive.
kind of itch for Jeremiah, because like I don't get that when I play that game.
Well, but I'm sure there are other games
It works
that-
for
I don't
him.
know if I could even sit and play WoW for 220 hours.
The best thing about Monster Hunter is when you create a hunt or when you go into a mission, they're hour chunks. So I can literally and that's how I like.
You've done 220 missions.
I've done more than that. But you can go in there and you can go, all right, I'm going to play for an hour. And then when you're done with that mission and you create whatever item you were making, or you just do this check off list that you do, you go, all right, I'm done. And that's how I like to play my games, is in chunks. I don't really sit down for long marathons at a time. Like sometimes I do, like on a day off, if I got no chores or anything, I'll sit down for a couple hours and play a game. But I'll play a game for an hour or two, and then I'll go do something else. And Monster Hunter really fits well into that schedule for me, where it's just like, hey, I'm going to play a mission or two, and it takes me, I don't know, an hour and a half to do everything, and then I can start watching YouTube, or I can go make dinner or something like that after work. It fits in my schedule pretty well, and it's super fun. I mean, when Doug and Austin were playing it with me, they had an amazing time. They had nothing bad to say about it. You had nothing bad to say about it. So I wished I had more people to play it
was
with.
fun. I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed
It's
playing
fun.
it.
I can't.
I burnt out on it.
Yeah,
I can't play it for 200 hours.
I didn't. But yeah, it's just one of those games that it's just like it got its hooks into me, and
Now
I've
there's
been
just
playing
too
it.
many other games that I'm trying to play.
Yeah, I need to put it down and start playing other games. Today, Monday, I got a message from Austin. Was it today or yesterday?
I think it was yesterday.
Okay, yesterday. I got a message from Austin. He was like, "Hey, Persona 5 is cheap on PlayStation Store right now." So I went ahead and bought that. It is downloaded on my PS4. I will probably start playing that here soon. But I also downloaded.
He's got to get through another 400 hours of Monster Hunter first.
Yeah, I might. I don't know. We'll see. It's like I said, I meant to play other games this weekend and this past week. I just every time I sat down, I was like, I'm gonna play more Monster Hunter. Like I played like 15 minutes of Gears, and I was like, I want to play more Monster Hunter. I can't stop playing Monster Hunter.
Where's that review already?
Yeah, for real.
I mean, I could write one up, I guess. Like, it took me this long to get to the end game.
You probably know more about it than anybody in the world.
That is not true at all. Like, I'm not an expert at this.
He's pretty
game.
lazy compared to some people.
Yeah, true. I mean, there's whole YouTube channels for Monster Hunter World.
Yeah.
But I do want to check out Gears 5. I downloaded Persona 5. I want to check that out. I've wanted to check it out since it released. I just never got around to playing it. And I also got Final Fantasy VIII for the Switch, the remaster, because it's only $20. And I was like, I love Final Fantasy VIII, and I want to check. I haven't played it in years, so that's something else I'll probably be. I've already put like 20 minutes into it, just kind of.
20 minutes. Wow.
I know, like getting through the tutorial stuff and just being like, all right, let me get a feel for this again. I'm gonna play it in handheld mode and actually use my Switch like it's supposed to be used, and just start getting myself into playing the Switch more, because if I sit down in front of the PlayStation every day, it's going to be Monster Hunter or Death Stranding or something like that, and then I will not utilize the Switch as well as I would want to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I've been doing. Hopefully next week I will have something else to talk about.
Hey,
That's
more
up
than
to
I
you,
had.
man.
Right. Austin, buddy.
Still
I
with
was
us?
hoping you guys would forget about me. I don't think I did anything. What did I do?
I never forget about you, buddy.
I mostly prepared for the D&D session this weekend. Spent a lot of time doing that and working on the one that I'm writing, the podcast. I played a little bit more Borderlands 3. I don't have anything more to say about that. I'll beat it eventually, but I'm mostly excited for tomorrow. As of recording this, Destiny Shadowkeep's going to be dropping, and I'm itching to play that. Planning on streaming it pretty. I think every Tuesday I'm going to be streaming that for a while. They've made a lot of changes from what I've read, and it's supposed to be kind of a whole new skin wrapped around this game that I've played for 5 years now. So I'm really excited to hop back into that world, what the new expansion has to offer. That comes out tomorrow. And then I'm just gearing up for Death Stranding and the rest of the games that are going to be coming out this fall. So it's going to be a busy fall, and I kind of was overwhelmed this week by it, so I didn't really play any video games. Like, whatever.
Like,
it's take a break.
It's always weird when we go we go from the summer drought of games, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's like 18 games, and I kind of want to play half of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder why they do that, really.
For Christmas sales,
Christmas.
man.
Yeah, but I don't know. It seems like if you dropped a really good game in the middle of summer or something, you'd be
That's
like
why.
the only...
That's why like Tulu 2 drops in February, and like the major hits that like have the courage to drop in the middle of the summer. But
Well, even I mean, like a lot of games will drop in spring. It's spring and fall. That's when games drop, because there are less games that drop in winter because it's already past like shopping season, and there's less games that drop in summer because I guess there just aren't as many game sales in summer, which doesn't make sense because kids are out of school and crap like that. So
But
you
he's
need like
outside because it's summertime.
They need like a March.
right.
global warming, it's too hot. Get inside, get in the AC.
They need like a March Black Friday.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do.
Yeah. Like
March or April or something like that.
even like a July, like a Christmas in July sale for every game.
Some places do stuff like I'm pretty sure like Walmart does something
We
like
need to
that.
get the entire
Yeah.
country on the same page about it, though, because like Black Friday, there's just boom. all
There you
this
go.
crazy
All
stuff.
right,
Get the
viewers,
end.
listeners, spread the
entire
word.
country off of Black Friday. Like we should be adults and just like shop online like everyone.
So on
Well, that's
Cyber
Cyber
Monday,
Monday.
yeah.
Cyber Monday.
we're gonna call it
Let's not make that.
Flightless Friday.
Flightless Friday.
It will be in April.
It's named that because we don't even leave our chairs.
We'll put a
Let's
sale
let
on
all
the
those
shirt that
poor
we don't
people have Thanksgiving off and just not go this year. Deal?
I agree with having Thanksgiving off.
No,
I'm
you
more
guys,
on the
you guys
Cyber
better
Monday.
come into work that Friday.
I'm more on the Cyber Monday thing now.
Friday.
So I love Cyber Monday. So easy.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys. I buy gift cards for everybody, and it's just easier to go, hey, you buy something for yourself.
Get whatever you want.
I'm
Yeah.
banking
me.
on Cyber Monday this year.
You're
I
banking.
buy stuff for myself on those. I'm
Diving
not
in
buying
hardcore.
Christmas present. Buying my present.
I usually buy a
Buy
game or
my
two for myself on Cyber Monday, or just wait for like any like the Sony sales or.
My goal
you
is to
know.
build an entire PC on Cyber Monday.
It's a good day for it.
Oh, speaking of games and stuff that's on sale and winter and all that, play Ori. It's on Switch. Everybody has access to a
Downloaded
Switch.
it last night.
Play it. Thank you. Let me know how you think about it because it's absolutely amazing.
Mario Kart's on mobile too.
I have been playing a little bit of that. Not
I haven't
much of
played
it, but not enough to talk about. It's
I haven't tried it yet. I have
It's-
not been seeing very good things about it.
seemed like I've noticed to play as Mario, you have to pay $20.
Really?
What? Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like that's. I've
think
not
you
been
can-
a fan of like any of Nintendo's mobile games.
I think you can get him randomly.
Yeah, that
like,
Mario
as a random pull,
was-
but like if you want to guaranteed play as Mario in Mario Kart, it's $20.
A race.
That Mario Run game was kind of like that too. You had
Yeah.
No. Mario Run was you buy it, it's
I
like
liked Mario
$5
Run.
or $10, and you get the whole
no,
game.
it was
Yeah.
free.
Well,
Or
it's free for the
maybe
first
you
like
can pay
level
for
or
it,
two.
but
No, yeah,
no.
they made you pay. You made you buy the game after like the third level.
Oh,
if
Yeah,
I'm
first
mistaken.
2 levels were like free to play, and then the rest of it was you
Yeah,
buy
and
it.
I'm
It's
sitting there
one
like, I
sale,
don't
it's
know
done.
if-
But
it's Nintendo's foray into cash grabbing on mobile, and
they've
it's
been doing it for a
ridiculous.
while. I think the Fire Emblem, because
Only
Mario
the last like year. Or so.
Mario Run made what like $3 to $5 million,
Mario Run
something
was
like
a
that.
good game.
It was
though.
a good game. It made $3 to $5 million, but
I had to seriously contemplate whether I wanted to buy it though.
Dragalia Lost, which was published by Nintendo,
Yeah.
which was a gotcha game from like basically pay to pull characters and all that stuff, made $43 million in the same time
Nice.
that Mario Run made.
There's
and then,
so much money in mobile.
And
I
then
would-
Fire Emblem, I think, made more. So that's why Nintendo's like, all right, mobile games are now going to be like free to play, but
Everybody.
I
You
would spend
buy
a
currency
minimum
pool
of
stuff.
$30 on a Pokemon Yellow port to mobile. I would.
30?
Yeah, I would spend at least $30, maybe more.
Can't you just download an emulator?
Well, you can, but I'm talking about like an actual officially licensed port.
Just put it on the Switch.
I mean, yeah, but I think
Someday.
mobile would be better for that because I spend a little more time just goofing off on my mobile phone. Than I do
Only problem
Switch.
with mobile games that are translated from like actual console games is with the controllers on the. If all mobile phones had QWERTY keyboards still, I'd be okay with it. Like you can
Yeah,
use
but for,
WASD.
For games like Pokemon, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, that's
Nintendo, fix your shit.
Give me a Pokemon.
Got
game.
him.
Got him.
148.31.
We did it, guys. We made it.
Made it.
Did you guys like how I brought that joke around?
I
We-
saw
we
what you did
referenced
there.
it earlier. Yeah, that's called professional broadcasting.
Austin, I can see the tired in your eyes.
I'm so tired.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Yeah. Get through this
I'm ready.
closing.
You guys just want to go straight into it?
Yeah,
I mean, that's all we have left.
You want to close it out? Dan?
Jeremiah's. It's gonna take him 30 minutes to wrap it up. He always goes forever.
Fuck
Oh,
you.
that's right, Jeremiah.
You know he's right.
All right, I'm gonna say like 3 words and be done. No,
Oh, if you
That
can
would
do
be
it in
impressive.
3 words, I would be impressed.
That's your
They
challenge.
have to be really important words.
you know what we stopped doing?
Wait,
we
who
stopped doing
gets to
you,
pick the word?
Yeah, we stopped doing the you pick the word or pick the phrase.
Doug, you get
I
to
think-
pick it since you went last.
Yeah, they're all falling. My studio's falling
It's
apart.
raining foam rings in here.
It's raining foam. Hallelujah, it's raining foam.
That stuff. Is,
That'll be our
it's-
karaoke song.
It's attached with liquid nails and it's still falling off.
Yes. Let's do it.
All right, your phrase is the Weather Girls.
Oh, we got phrase now. We went from
weather
from word to phrase.
Okay, people listening on Twitch, we make up a phrase and I have to incorporate it into the ending. All right, let's go. So I can't think about it. I have to figure it out.
150.05.
That is going to do it for the Flightless Nerd podcast tonight. If you have enjoyed this, please feel free to subscribe to us on Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, any particular iTunes or podcast related media. And when you subscribe, please give us a like and a review. It really does help us out. We like to see what you guys think, and just, have people talking to us about it, and it helps us out in the long run. We got a Patreon. We need a little bit of money to keep the hosting site up and keep the website ad-free. Go to patreon.com/flightlessnerd if you are interested in contributing to that. We appreciate that. Maybe we'll hire some weather girls and see how that's going, to do weather on the fly. What are you laughing about? You know what? If we're going to be flightless, we got to figure out what the weather's going to be on the ground.
You brought it full circle. I'll give you
fair
that
point.
If you want us to talk about a particular subject on the podcast, on the stream, anything like that, hit us up at podcast@flightlessnerd.com. We'll take your emails, and we will actually read them on air and discuss them on air. We've had a couple of people do that. It's pretty cool having some input from other people and seeing other people's opinions on the world of video game and nerd news. If you are interested in writing reviews or just writing what's on your mind and you want to put some articles up online and, have the world be able to read what you got on your mind, hit us up at contribute@flightlessnerd.com, or you can go to our webpage, flightlessnerd.com/contribute, fill out the form there, and let us know if you're interested in doing stuff like that. We're always welcoming people into our Flightless family. You can hit us up at Twitter, or on Twitter, at Flightless News. If you would like to hit us up personally, I am at RyuOmega33.
And I am at I am John Mon.
I am at the Lost Cause Kid.
And I am at D.A. Pilcher.
And you can also catch us on Twitch at flightless_nerd. So it's twitch.tv/flightless_nerd. I got that wrong earlier. Please forgive me, everyone. I love you all. Thank you very much for checking us out on iTunes or if you're on Twitch. Have a great night, and we will see you next week.
152.48.
Or
We
you
did
will
it.
you will see us.
You will see us. We won't see you, but I mean,
I was only halfway paying attention during that, and then I
Yeah,
realized
I
you said
did.
my name. I was like, oh.
I couldn't think of anything funny.
I wasn't sure what was going to happen there. Well, I mean, full circle. Look at Austin, full circle
I'm
comedy.
just so good at that.
You're so good at that, sir.
We are professionals.
That put me on the spot there.
Cool.
So yeah, Twitch. Thank you for checking out our podcast. If you have any suggestions, feel free to hit us up at the following Twitter handles, like we had already explained, and let us know how we can make this better as well. This is, like I said, our third week. Yeah, third week. We're trying to make this a little more professional for everybody, and we want to grow our community. So we don't have a Discord up yet, but maybe we will one day. Yeah.
We will be here recording the podcast live on Monday evenings, usually, hopefully, trying to do it by around 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock
We got
Eastern.
close this
We
time.
were pretty close this time.
It's better than the first time.
And then trying to do some other stuff throughout the week. So just follow us on Twitter or check out our Twitch throughout the week to see what's going on.
Absolutely. You guys have a wonderful night and stay safe and have a good week.
All right. Bye.